All right, man. Ready?
For sure.
Yo, what's up? I am OMEHGA, and this is Diverse Clarity. This is where we have those thought-provoking conversations about things that matter and some that don't. And of course, as always, I'm here with my man, my co-host, Mr. John D. What's good?
What up, though, young man? How you doing today?
I'm good, man. It's finally here.
It is.
It is the final episode of this season.
Yeah.
How you feeling, man?
I feel accomplished.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Talk about it.
Doing and watching different podcasts and looking at statistics, we're part of a select percentage of people who's actually done this many episodes.
Shout out to 35. Let's go.
For sure. And I can see how much I've grown from the beginning. Being able to compliment you so you wouldn't, stealing the show every time because I didn't know what to do. But you were a great teacher. You never made me feel like I was out of place.
You never were.
You didn't make me feel that way.
And
nor
should I.
That was the being self-conscious of being able to appreciate opportunities given and to make the person that brought you on feel like it was a good idea. Mm-hmm. So it was, a constant battle, but maybe in the first probably 7 to 10, I didn't feel like that anymore. It was more so just trying to calm down and try to illuminate myself in a way that people come here not just for you, but for us.
Well, they definitely wasn't coming just for me.
Well, you're definitely you have a personality that's contagious, so I can see why they would come.
I appreciate that, but man, you came into this with humility and excitement, and you had drive. So, I mean, I would have been a fool not to want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you came in and you not only respected what was trying to be accomplished, but you came in and you told me things about what I was doing that I didn't realize. And some of them were for the overall project, and some of them, like you just said, which I appreciate, which was things that I did or maybe said that benefited you as an individual or individual growth, working towards this team, the dynamic that we've created here. So it's it's been a pleasure. Like we had no idea what was gonna happen when we got together. So I remember when you used to tell me things like, oh, I used to be like this and used to be like that, and I'm built this way and I'm built that way and I turn this way, and I'm like, oh God, here we go. Like, but it was easy. And I've said it before, and I said it a million times over. The only thing that I don't like about working with you is that we come in here and we have conversations that last for like 2-3 hours, and we've not recorded a show. And then by then we're recording. So keep that in mind. You're talking about two individuals, those of you that watch the show and listen to us. On average, even today, we've talked for about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours before we started to record. Yeah. And then we've come in and said, all right, well, it's time to shoot. Let's do the episode. So y'all are catching us not even being fresh on having conversation, but we've already been going through the ringer, and it's not always been pleasant conversations. And not that we was arguing, but it's like things that we might get heated about, or we sensitive about, or we're just talking about something that had affected us that way, and it brings out the emotions of how we felt, For sure, yeah. And then we come in and we do the show. So too much content is probably, what I don't like about it, and wishing that we would have recorded everything, but not everything's for everybody's ears. So it is.
Well, we have a lot of years ahead of us to figure that out.
137 to be exact.
Oh yeah.
100. Did I do a math right? Is my public math on point?
Yeah, it isn't.
No? How many we got then?
127.
I'm 10 off. We've been talking for 2 hours. Excuse me. Hey, can I mess up a little bit? Have you been? Huh?
For sure.
What you want to say?
No, like we gonna get it, man. I just, I really feel like I just now I appreciate what I'm going through. You know, like listening to people who are very successful in things, and it was like, so how did you feel here? It's like, man, I was just in the moment. I was just going, and I didn't get to appreciate it. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna appreciate each and every day that I'm trying to get better, so I can be like, I remember why I was feeling this way, and I can see where it changed. And looking at this, like 35 episodes is, you know, I've seen podcast seasons where they have 10 episodes for a season. You know what I'm saying? Right. We got 35.
35. And we would have had more.
Oh yeah.
We would have had more.
But so, it's still a remarkable number, a remarkable feat.
And I just want to say, when I focus on just the number, we genuinely feel like we've put an hour plus of content out every week for 35 weeks, where the content was digestible. For sure. It was informative. Some parts is comical. And it, in a lot of spaces, it kind of lets you into us as who we are as men. Yeah. Right? And hopefully it touched men and women out there and made them think about things in a certain way. I mean, we are, after all, having those thought-provoking conversations. So hopefully that's the way that, you know, people are receiving it. Definitely. And my favorite part about it all is that Diverse Clarity, the podcast, it's timeless. Yeah, you can go back and you can listen, and in some instances it's sad that it's timeless, you know, because we do talk about things where it's involving people and the way that life is for, you know, certain people or certain groups. And it's sad that still continues, right? One day those things will no longer be relevant. They'll become a part of history. Yeah. But it's still timeless. It's still information. So, and if those of you that watch us on YouTube, that's why we don't go through on YouTube and put an episode number, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't. The podcast is that way. So if you truly want to go in and see when was what, you know, what episode was done before what, cool. You can cross-reference it with the podcast, you know, the audio version itself on any platform out there, right? From iHeart to Apple to Google Play and 175 other platforms. Definitely. But yeah, man. So like that's probably my favorite part, that is timeless, and you can go back and catch anything. Yeah. Or watch anything and catch something from it. So,
you know, I like, it's so timeless that whenever some of these things become irrelevant, they can still go back and be like, that was a problem then. That's why they're talking about it.
For sure.
You know, like they were talking about problems that, right, you know, we needed to be working on, you know, so.
What's the biggest problem right now? What's going on right now, though?
You know, I guess
the mask, the
transition back from the mindset of keeping a mask on here makes me feel like the government is forcing people to be responsible, even though they may not believe in it. But going back into the States, it's like the government.
Are you talking about here?
Yeah, because, you know, everybody has to wear a mask here. Right. So to me, that's why I say people always need to be told what to do, because if you leave it up to them, they're going to make the worst choice. But if you tell everybody they got to wear a mask, you're going to have groups of people that don't do it, but majority of the people want to do the right thing. Right. But if you give them the choice to do the wrong thing, it might be their right thing. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, because ignorance is bliss. Yeah. Ignorance is bliss. And some people don't understand. They don't understand the real reason behind wearing a mask. Yeah. They don't understand how it's supposed to help them or those around them. And like, they don't understand. Or they've taken in information from a source that might not be so reliable. And now they've got the information wrong and they're thinking one way or the other, which is why a lot of people don't want, what is it they call it? The people that don't want to wear the mask, or it's like one of those names, like not a conspiracy theorist, but the something like like
you talking about the people that say it's against their constitutional right? I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Like when they say like I can't even think of the name now, but
I know what you're talking about.
The non-maskers or whatever, but they got a name.
They started in Michigan, in Lansing.
Really? Where?
At the cap.
So it's y'all's fault.
You know what's so crazy though? Like people like to label it a white thing or a Republican thing. Dude, there'll be black people out there too. So it is like an ignorance thing to me.
I think that's extremely messed up in the U.S. when, see, the U.S. is America, the United States America of America. They want to put everything into a political space.
Always.
Everything. When they talk about race, they want to make it political. When they talk about LGBTQ plus, is that right? Is that right? Did I get out all the letters?
Look,
and sometimes why? I don't know. But when they talk about the LGBTQ plus community, they want to make it political. When they talk about the virus, they want to make it political. And I don't know, like that's something that like irks me because we don't have options in the USA. I think I said in one of the other podcasts, it's like the USA is always about two options.
It's
always about two options, right? Like if you live in New York, it's the Yankees or the Mets, Coke or Pepsi. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What's the other one? I don't even know. McDonald's or Burger King.
I mean, Republican, Democrat.
And that's what I was getting at.
Yeah. So this or that, it's got to be one side or the other.
Right. So when they take everyday people issues and they try to turn them political, now they're forcing a divide where there should not be one amongst the people. And for that, that's what irks me, because these are things that these are human right issues. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be in a situation where we're looking at, for example, Black Lives Matter, and we're making that. When did that become political? You know? So, and I remember you said, like in the beginning, you were like, "Yo, well, before I heard of all this, all lives matter."
Yeah,
which they do, but people were getting it wrong and making it political.
Yeah,
I was watching The Chi, and I'm in season 4. Right?
Okay, I haven't started that one.
Really? Yes. Yeah,
not 4.
It's good. Oh yeah, it's good.
I've seen the first 3.
Okay,
seasons.
It's. I'm pretty sure I'm in season 4. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Oh, I don't want to tell you then.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that. You can't prevent me from watching it.
Well,
because I look.
How do I? Okay, I'll just say this. There was an occurrence, right? Because I don't want to spoil it for the people out there either. But there was an occurrence, and it came down to the police committing. I guess you can say a crime. Yeah, police committing a crime among or towards a young black brother, mm-hmm. And the mayor decided, I am going to defund the police, right? And when they said they're going to defund the police, now you have a group of people who in that community have decided that they are going to police their own community, which I completely understand. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, I think if you love your community, hell, if we can do it for our country, we can do it for our community, right? It's a subsidiary of the company or of the country.
For sure.
Right? So, but what they did was, I think, and maybe something's going to come out later that's going to explain it or change it, because I haven't gotten that far. I don't think I got past that episode. But I think it helped to blur the true meaning of defund the police. You know?
Oh, it did?
Right. Because defunding the police, from my understanding, was not about shutting down the police department.
Not at all.
Right. And so it's like the police department was shut down because the mayor said, defund the police. And now the people are trying to police their own city because the police have been defunded. From my understanding, defunding the police was supposed to be a reallocation of funds
to prevent the police officers accepting all the responsibilities that they're not qualified for.
So I'm thinking, hey, guess what, guys? You're not going to get that new bulletproof SUV this year. You're not going to get the latest bulletproof vest. You're not going to get the latest, whatever assault rifle or battering ram for the SWAT team. And we're going to reallocate those funds to maybe hiring an official, like what do you call it when they the people when they were saying like, oh, if we respond to an emergency and the person has a mental health issue, right? And they're gonna now have somebody that responds with them to kind of de-escalate, right? Yeah. Because they're trained in that space. So maybe use some of those funds that you're reallocating, right?
An on-site therapist for any situation,
right? Yeah. To go towards like, hire. So that was my understanding of it. I think that Lena Waithe is doing an amazing job in what she does, right? I'm a fan of her work. But that piece of what I saw, and like I said, I could be wrong. Something could come later that's gonna debunk what I'm saying. But from what I saw, this did occur. And
it's creating the same.
People are watching it and they're going to be thinking, oh, well, when they talk about defunding the police, this means that the people are going to go out and police the. Yeah, I mean,
I'm
go ahead.
I'm sure more is going to come out later. They cannot perpetuate that idea like that's what that was meant for.
Right. But that's what it.
It's appearing to be right now.
That's what it felt like. And like I said, I didn't finish.
Yeah.
That I think I'm in that episode. So, and they actually had a call. They responded to something as a community, and yeah, that was actually it was Reggie's brother. Jack, what's his name? Jack, the young boy with the dread. Jack.
Yeah.
So the brother
Jack.
that came in, yeah. So it was him that responded to something. So you'll see what I'm talking about when you start to watch it. But yeah, man. So, but this is the thing. Like, I don't like how these things have been turned into a political whatever, and then there's like this misunderstanding of what things actually mean, and the people that don't actually dig and look for information, they're going to things like Facebook, Twitter, watching television shows and series, and they're thinking that this is the reality.
Oh, I know.
And man, that ignorance must be bliss, bro.
Because
Because
I think it is a reality to a degree, but it doesn't represent the entire thing. And they make it seem like whatever their reality is, that's the norm across the board.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But and if we can convince people to work on their communication so that they're not misunderstood, I think we would grow more as a people.
What do you think the problem is, though? Because this is something that is widespread.
Miscommunication.
But okay, miscommunication, right? But how many people have heard this and there's been nothing done? Yes, I've heard the whispers. Yes, I've heard the town hall meetings, and I've heard the radio interviews where people are talking about it. But how is there something that's happening on that large of a scale, and people are understanding it the way that you and I are, in much greater positions to be able to help and educate and make change, and it still has that narrative? How are we able? There should be a huge redaction on what's been delivered to the public. Right? And people should be explaining, no, that's not.
I know. I get what you're saying.
Right.
I just think there are people like you and I are talking about it, but it depends on who's controlling the people that's narrating it. Like, people live off of chaos. And to give them the information that we're talking about, it seems like it would make sense for people. It's like, oh, that's what that means.
Right.
And then you move on, but it doesn't create chaos.
Why not? Because they have made it political. And now what's happening is the people are hearing this and they're ready to jump on it. It's like being in a relationship and somebody does something, like you don't want to be in that relationship anymore and you looking for an out, and they do something wrong and you're like, and you give them a chance to explain. You'll probably learn that it wasn't what you was thinking, but you're so ready for a way out. The moment that they do something that looks like it's going to fit the bill, they're ready to jump on it, and now they got their way out. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
And now that they've made it political, it's like, that's the right. You can't, nope. Come to the left because this is how we think. This is how we feel on that subject. And it's not a political thing, or it shouldn't be. The only way that it's political is when it comes to somebody making the decision about how this reallocation should be done and who's being voted in office.
Oh, yeah.
That aspect of it. But we're talking about the police and the brutality and how it's affecting the community. That's a human rights issue.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be anything that's in place that's going to prevent people from being treated in a humane fashion. There should be nothing there.
It shouldn't.
Right. But the ignorance of this across the board is I mean, it's just frustrating, bro.
Well, if you think about how COVID started out, it was just hearsay. Then it started to spread throughout the world, and then the numbers started running. And then you started to notice that the degrees of separation of people that's been affected by COVID started to get closer and closer to you until it got really close to you. Some people just was like, oh, it's a hoax and all of this. And then when it touches you, like, what trips me out is that I know so many people that it's actually touched like one person away, if not them, and they still have the mindset of it's a hoax type thing. Like it's like the flu. Okay, we recovered from it.
The admission of ignorance is the beginning of wisdom. Like there's people, and they don't want to believe this. This is it because it's fitting an agenda.
No, I know.
That's what it is. It's fitting an agenda. So I don't know, man. Like, but what about now with like the mask and everything? So you were talking about it earlier, going back to the States.
Yeah, it's okay. So
we're gonna be canceling your flight, by the way. I'm gonna go ahead and give some people a call and handle that. You're not leaving. You're not leaving.
You know, my wife, you know, I told you she's a public health official, and she's a big advocate for a mask, but she understands that if you have a vaccine, you don't necessarily have to wear the mask. But she still is in that habit of thinking that if I wear this mask, I'm going to be protected. But I'm like, you're just going to be mad at everybody else that's not wearing masks. And I'm wondering what that looks like when I get back. Because when it first started here, I was like, hey, we got to watch ourselves. But then I realized the way that I was talking didn't match what I was actually doing. But I wasn't going out, right? But when I did go out, it would just be a small group of people. I went home and I did that. My wife was like, oh, heck no. You trying to bring Corona in the house? Look, I didn't even know that she took it that serious. She was like, you told us to be ready. We start doing this and you get here and you just willy-nilly inviting people to the house and you going to visit people. And I'm like, I was doing that there. And she was like, well, I didn't see it all like that. You made it seem like we need to be more focused on our health and all of this. I'm like, miscommunication.
I mean, so what does it look like now for you when you go back? Like, what does life look like? Are you going to be
whatever my wife says? Hey. Like if she says I need to wear a mask, I need to wear a mask.
It's Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
Well, the reason why I say that because at the end of the day, the mask will not hurt you.
Right, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Not wearing the mask can increase your chances. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you're not vaccinated.
Correct. So if she feels safer with me wearing a mask, then I just got to do it.
Yeah, I didn't want to get vaccinated either. Like
I didn't because you know the conspiracy of how they are testing on us or. Oh my God, this is so funny. Have you seen Michael? You know who Michael Che is?
Yeah, Michael Che. Yeah,
have you seen his show?
No, I heard him talking about it on Dave Chappelle's podcast. But,
it's the best skit show, the Dave Chappelle show.
Really?
It is really good.
Is it on the thing that we use?
Yes.
Bet. Okay.
The Michael Che show.
Michael Che. Yeah. I saw because I saw he had mentioned something like 4 or 5 months ago. On like Instagram, he's like, but I can't say anything. He had he was pulling up cards.
You can tell he writes a lot of it because it's the dry comedy that you weren't supposed to say that out loud. But he has other people talking like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think we've said a lot of things on this show we weren't supposed to say out loud.
But you know, we said it in an 11 way. He says it in like your asshole way. But yeah, you'll love that show. Well, that's not my intentions
tendencies anymore. That is what it is, though. But, you know,
so tell me this.
Yeah.
Do you feel like being mandated to wear a mask has made it easier for you to be able to navigate versus if they just say all of you that are vaccinated don't have to wear a mask?
What do you mean made it easier for me to navigate?
Through the city or going to work or going in the public, like, because for me, when I see people wear masks, to me it's like a less stress. But when I see a large group of people not wearing masks, it make me feel like they're not taking it serious.
I don't like wearing the mask, but let me just. Side note, diverse clarity masks are coming soon. What I was doing is working. So I should see the prototype in the next 24 or 36 hours.
For real?
Something like that. Yeah. So that should be coming soon. I can show you the pre one. But anyway, mask. I I don't like wearing a mask.
Why?
It's just because it's uncomfortable. Just for all the normal reasons that we normally don't walk around with masks is why I don't like it. Right? Nothing about the virus, nothing about what it can do, what it can't do, or whatever. I just don't like having to wear a mask. Although my circles are very small, I'm the type of person that when I do go out, I'm very personable. I'm very sociable. I mean, me and Di, we went to, I forget what the restaurant was, but it was over by Yaz or whatever. Waitress was dying. The whole, I mean, bruh, like it was, I have to tell you some stuff, but it was like, it was just a time. And it sucked. It was fun, but it sucked because like, it was fun because I didn't have a mask on. She didn't have a mask on. We're sitting down, we're eating. Mm-hmm. Of course, the waitress does, right? But it's like, I know she was laughing. She was laughing out loud. She was hanging out there while we was eating. Like it was a fun night out, right? Just to go get some food. But she had a mask on. I couldn't see her laugh. I don't like masks because I feel that it's taken away from the humanity, right? I understand why. I'm not against it, right? But I just feel like me as a person, you know, even there's times where like I've not necessarily complained, but I had to let somebody know something like, hey, and I feel like the tone of my voice isn't everything. Like, you know, you kind of pull the mask out and be like, hey, I am smiling here. I just want you to know. But I'm just saying, like, that can't be. Okay, so, you know, and it's like, because I feel it just takes away from who I am as a person, because my face is all a part of me. My expressions are all a part of me. So from the way of life, this is why I don't like them. Now, should we have them in all of this? Look, bro, I don't even feel that we have all the information. I honestly don't think, you talk about this all the time, I don't think we have enough information to know if they're working, if they're what we should have. Are they causing, you know, more harm than good or whatever? And I'm just throwing things out. I'm not saying that any of those are accurate, but just questions that are there. You know, people are still unsure about how this thing spreads. You know, does it go through the air? What's the deal with 6 feet? I heard it went to 12 feet. You know, forgot the, you know, so what type of mask should we have? Should it have a filter? Should it not? If it does have a filter, it doesn't need to be this kind. Does the filter expire? Do we change the filter out? How good is it? If it gets touched by anything else, is it bad? People don't even know how to take the mask off. How many times have I been out and I've seen people with their mask and they're doing this, you know, adjusting. For those of y'all who are listening on the podcast, I'm just adjusting it around my nose, and then they go back to their normal whatever. If you got corona on your mask and you just adjusted it by touching the outside to fix your nose, guess where corona is now? Or maybe not. Does it not spread that way? But you see what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. We don't know enough to know if it's really effective.
I get it, but we know that if you don't wear it, it's highly likely for you to spread it.
I agree. But what we're talking about, if we're going to have the mask or not have the mask, there should be a breakdown of what it is with hopefully some certainty.
Why?
To make a educated decision
See,
on having the mask and not.
You have a personal preference of feeling like that you want to show your face and see other people's faces. China's been wearing masks for decades. If you grow up in that environment, you don't look at it that way.
Of course.
So I
didn't, so I can't.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if you know that if everybody wear a mask, it reduces the chances of you getting it, that should just, to me, that should be just enough to wear the mask.
Oh, but that's what I said. I was just saying my personal feelings why I don't like the mask. But I said I support.
Oh, I know you.
Yeah.
But in America, would you? Because
first you got to get me on an airplane. Let's baby steps. Baby steps.
But I'm saying if you were in an environment that didn't mandate it, because you said you don't like it.
I don't know if but
that's where I am now.
Okay, there was a point where I didn't like vegetables as a kid either.
I'm saying that's where I am now. That's where.
Look, you talking about America? You got to get me on the airplane first.
Well, okay? I'm going there, so that's
you're going there.
So now you don't care about me? Don't you want me to stay?
I love you, but
you want me to stay healthy, right?
Yeah, you asked me the question.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
You asking me?
You're talking in reference to what you want me to, how you want me to move. This is like
no.
I'm the one that's doing it, not you.
I'm not giving you advice. There's no advice that I can give you.
No, I'm saying like, what would you do? And like when I go back, that's what's making me think like, what am I supposed to truly do? Like,
okay, if I was in America, I'd be wearing a mask.
You sure?
I'm positive. Right now? Yeah, definitely. Matter of fact, if I were to fly back, which I'm not going at the moment, but if I were to fly back, I'll probably have one of them masks that come down that look like like the welding.
Yeah.
Bruh, I'm telling you, I'm not doing it. I was telling my girl the other day, I said, where I live, the elevator is not a huge elevator, right? And we're supposed to maintain 6 feet.
Yeah, I saw that's a wrap.
6 feet distance, right? And you know what the elevator is like.
Oh yeah, it ain't
right?
no 6 feet.
Exactly. So I was like, I said, yeah, for the second time, I've had somebody try to get in the elevator with me. And I do it the other way too. I've gone to the elevator before and like arrive at the elevator with someone. And then
won't get on?
I won't get on. I'll let them have it.
What?
I won't get on. I'll let them have it. But guess what? On the flip side, you ain't getting in there with me either.
Ooh,
yeah.
Wee.
And she was like, that's rude. You're being an asshole. I was like, yep. Yep. But no, because look,
that's not necessarily being an asshole if you believe in it.
But that's what she said. So
no, but if you agreed with her, like, yep.
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to dispute it. If that's how you view me, if you're saying, oh man, he won't get in the elevator with me because he thinks that it's too small and he's not maintaining the 6 foot social distance or whatever. And if you think that I'm an asshole because of that, more power to you. I'm not about to sit and argue with you about that. That's not going to be you know what I'm saying? So, and not just saying that it was an argument. I'm not saying that at all. But if that's what she's saying, if she's like, oh, that's being rude, that's okay, cool. I mean, I'm not finna sit and try to justify.
Oh yeah.
So, but you know that elevator, and you know the elevator is not 6 feet. And I was telling her, I was like, listen. She said, well, what about if you measure the long way, like going across? I was like, listen, it's not 6 feet, and even if it was 6 feet, my body's 1 foot. Their body's at least a foot.
It's only 6 foot if they are on the ceiling and you're on the floor laying down.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, we only getting about 4 feet between us, maybe three and a half.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, I'm not getting in there. She's like, so what happened? What'd you do? I said, he tried to come in the elevator. And it was so funny, right? Because I was the very bottom floor. I'll just say, I'm not trying to give out info but I was in the very bottom floor. And then it went up 2 floors to where he was coming in. I need to continue to go up, right? And he was getting ready to come in. And as soon as he did, I was like, oh, excuse me. And then I pressed the button to close the door. And he put his hand out and he was like, oh, no. Is it going up? I said, yeah, I'm going up. And he was like, yeah, let me in. I'll send it back down for you. He was like, you know what he said to me? Quit harassing me. I swear to God. He said, quit harassing me. I looked at him. I said, please move your foot. And I shut the door. You're harassing me. You kind of get into my 6 foot bubble. So
see, you were supposed to say COVID.
Huh?
You said COVID.
She said that. She was like, tell him I got COVID. I'm like, then I'm not supposed to be out moving around.
No, I'm saying, no, you don't have to say you got COVID.
Oh,
just
okay, gotcha.
COVID precautionary measures.
Right.
Because if you don't know that's what it is, it's like, dang. You're assuming that they do.
What adult is alive? He was an adult. What adult is alive?
The ones that don't like people with other colors? Like you got a complex with his skin color or?
Oh, you think he went there with it? You think he thought?
No, I don't know. You're allowing them to do it if you don't just say, hey, COVID.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know, because at the end of the day, think about it.
I didn't think about it like that because in my mind, I'm thinking everybody knows.
Yeah, no.
Everybody knows.
No, if everybody knows, then he wouldn't have been trying to get on there with you.
But some people don't care.
Well, you're absolutely
Ignorance
right.
is bliss. But just because they know don't mean that they're gonna.
But if you tell him COVID, he'll be like, okay, he's one of those people. Let me let him go up.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yeah,
you know, you're right. That's because that's now twice with that particular individual, and I'm just like, hey, bro.
You were being misunderstood, and you were just looking out for the best interest of them.
That dude said, quit harassing me. Yo, get your fucking ass out of here. In my mind, that's what I said.
Look,
that's what I said.
So I'm waiting for the elevator. It's got to be like 10 minutes. I'm on Ream Island, Gate Tower, and the elevator opens up, and it's a bunch of people, so I let it go, right? I can't get on anywhere. There's like 6 or 7 people on there. And the next elevator comes, it's 5 people. It's 2 people in the corner, a person right here, a person right here, a person right there. And they looked, and I was like, I'm sorry. I can't wait for another elevator. So I got in the middle of them, right? And then you hear this lady in the background says, I don't think it's supposed to be this many people on the elevator. So mind you, it was already 5 people on the elevator. I'm the 6th one, but we're all in our respective things, right? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, they're right. But I'm like, I've been waiting for this elevator and it's finally here. And then when it got down, I was like, I'm glad we got down here safe. And you could just, I was so mad. Like, for real.
Angry black man.
Yes, I was, because I had been waiting for so long. And then when you get another one and then you hear that in the background, it's like, she's right as hell.
Is that something that you faced? Like you've come across the whole angry black man?
Not with me.
No, you never had people address you like that or be in situations where they're referring to you like that?
Now I've been angry, but not as like an angry black man.
What does angry like an angry black man mean though?
Mad at the system, blaming things on the white man, lack of resources.
Shay Whitey.
Feeling like you're not being recognized for your work and somebody else is getting credit, you know.
Wait, does that make you angry though?
No, that's what you said. What do you think about when you hear angry black man?
Right.
So these are the things that I think when black men are considered angry, these types of things are happening.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in that situation. Or even getting pulled over by the police.
Okay.
And a black man's going crazy. Like, golly, you know you're dealing with the police. Now he acting like an angry black man.
Right.
And I'm like, if he just calm down, let them just ask for his registration, just get on. But when you become angry, you cause the guy with the gun to feel like he's threatened and he has to do more than he's supposed to do.
But do you think it's right that we refer to people as angry black man?
Of course not.
Or angry
black woman.
Japanese
First
man,
of all, you know, well,
yes,
that's a complete,
especially, yeah.
That's I didn't know that it was a disrespectful thing. Like,
wait, what? You didn't know what was disrespectful?
Calling a black woman angry.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is the thing. Like, to me, when people say, oh, he called her an angry black woman, I'm like, let's think about the audience we're talking about. Did he say it with intent to hurt you, or was he trying to say like this is what he's seen before? But it's almost like they take it as if they've been called the N-word. I
was just about to say that. And that I think that's exactly
but that's what I'm saying. If they knew that it was that serious, they wouldn't say that. Because how often do you hear the N-word now?
You know what I think though? I think it's one of those, I guess maybe comparing this to an N-word is a little bit hard, but I think it's one of those things, even when you use the word bitch, right? It's one that's a little more accepted.
For what?
You know what I'm saying? But it's a little more accepted. You know it's derogatory, but it's not as bad as the N-word. So I think that's why there's comfort in that.
But I think only our community understands. But when somebody else
severity
says it,
of it.
When somebody else says it, it's like they're racist.
They're just regurgitating what they've heard somebody else say. Mm-hmm. Because it's not like they are that person.
I know, right? But even if you hear somebody say that's an angry black person, they're not thinking it's a comparison to the N-word.
Look, I don't think that anybody should get out there and act a fool, right? No one, no color, whatever. But I also think that it's kind of foul that just because a person has emotions because of an injustice or a situation that they've been put in where they're not happy with it and they react to it naturally, that they're now labeled as, especially with our black women, you know, if they're now labeled as an angry black woman. If people don't realize, unless it's us, what we go through every day, the show that we have to put on every day because of how we don't want to be perceived due to the environment that we are working in and living in. Mm-hmm. It's stressful. It's stressful. Well, so when it comes down to the basics, right? When it comes down to that, like everything that you had to deal with, you know what I'm saying? And then now because you've reacted to something where somebody else has projected it onto you, and you react to it naturally, now you're the angry black man. Now you're the angry black woman. Again, I don't condone people acting a fool, but I do condone people being a human being.
Well, see,
and we have emotions.
But see, like I think you're comparing that, what I'm hearing, mm-hmm. that you're comparing an angry black person to a person who gets angry.
No, what I'm saying is when a person, let's say a person is racist, right? Okay. Or let's just say a person has heard the phrase angry black man or angry black woman. Now in their mind, whenever they see a black person become angry or upset in the public eye, they're like, oh, angry black man. Ah, angry black woman.
It just depends on what you think they're angry about, though.
But what I'm saying is like that label should not be there. It's okay for somebody to be upset about something, but I don't think that label, which is used in a derogatory way, to be put on a person just because you have witnessed them being upset.
Well, if you're black and you're angry, you are an angry black man.
Semantics, you know what I'm saying?
But that's not what they're saying. You're talking.
That's not,
yeah. You're talking semantics. I'm not. I'm saying that if you're a black man and you're angry, they don't say, oh, they've been through a struggle and, we can't use. They're not thinking like we think. We have a different understanding than others think about angry black man.
Yeah, but if somebody looks at me as a black man and they witness me being angry and they say, oh, angry black man, it's not like saying, oh, he's got a white t-shirt. That's not what that is. You can't just say, oh, because he's black and he's angry black man. That's like when people say like, oh, I have a girlfriend. She's a girl and a friend.
No. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So a white girl prevents one of her friends to cut in line. And somebody's like, oh, we got a Karen in the building. It's like, I just don't believe that we should be cutting lines. Like now she has got all of the stereotypes of what comes with a Karen. But she's like, I've been waiting in line all this time and now he didn't just let 5 people in front of me. Like, can you imagine? Like, there was like,
I agree with her.
No, but I'm saying there's going to be a group of people like it's Karen line monitor.
And I'm not saying that that's right. What I'm saying is what you're talking about is the exact same thing towards angry black man, angry black woman.
That's what I'm saying.
It's somebody that's automatically been given that label that we know is a derogatory label by them just being a human. Just because some of the scenarios fit what that label is doesn't mean that it's it. You are a black man, right? If you go and have your car serviced and when you go pick it up, the engine is gone, you might be a little upset. And if somebody witnesses you being upset and they say, oh, that's John D. He's black and he's angry. Angry black man. That's not what they're saying.
Maybe right.
You know what I'm saying? They're looking at you saying, he's an angry black man, as in he's a Karen, or he's just one of them N-words that just want to act the fool. This is what they're saying.
But what do you think they mean when I'm an angry black man? What do you think they mean?
I don't think that they're looking at two different things about you saying he's a black man. He doesn't look happy. He's angry. Angry black man.
No, I'm
it's
saying
not that.
No, I'm saying like when somebody says you're being an angry black man, do they think about the number of things that I named earlier? What I think about when people say we're angry, do they think about those things?
I don't know, but I definitely don't think that they're looking at it in a way where they're just labeling you by what you are and the action that you are or the act that you're portraying at the moment. This is what I'm saying. I don't think that it's that.
Do you think that they would rather call us the N-word?
Because here's the thing. If somebody is witnessing you, right? If somebody is witnessing you be upset, right? Let's say you go and your engine is gone. If I saw it, I'd be like, yo, that dude was mad. He went to go pick up his car and his engine was gone. I probably wouldn't even worry about what color you are. The fact that they're taking angry black man, they know what this means.
No, but I'm saying it just depends on how much information they got. Like if they know that the engine was gone, it's like, oh, shit, I'd be angry too. It ain't an angry black man type thing. But looking on the outside, looking in, it was like, oh, he's acting like an angry black man because of whatever reasons.
Right.
So I'm saying when they say it,
right,
it's disrespectful to a degree, but it's not like being called the N-word.
No, I definitely did not compare it to that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
but like
right.
people still can get offended. Like, who you calling angry?
Because of the way that it's been portrayed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, but when a person says that, look, if somebody is just pointing at somebody saying that, realizing that they are angry about a certain situation, color has nothing to do with it. I went to the garage. That dude was angry, man. Like I was sitting there. He pulled up in the taxi to get in his car, and the engine was gone.
I
don't know what I would have done if that was me.
I see what you're saying though.
So it's
I guess I knew that, but I didn't understand it until you said it that way.
But put it like this: angry black man would be like a Karen. Yeah. That name, it's not used in a way. You get what I'm saying?
But depending on what white person it is, it might be they don't take it serious. Some may take it serious. But is a white person going to say, that's disrespectful? You shouldn't be calling white girls Karen.
I agree. Yeah. But I think that a person would be kind of, it wouldn't be that phrase. You get what I'm saying? Like, it could be as simple as, that black dude was mad as hell. Yes, they're saying that you were upset or you were angry or you were mad, but they're not calling you angry black man, which that particular phrase is a derogatory phrase based on the way that society has now put it out there, right? Towards us as a people.
Yeah.
So I would have easily just said, that tall dude was pissed. You know what I'm saying? But if I come in, I'll be like, angry black man. Come on.
I got you.
So that's one of them. I don't know.
That was a great breakdown of that for me to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like when I hear something, I try to get on the other side at times.
I got you. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But I do it in a way so that once the conversation's over, I have enough information to be able to stand by whatever I believe in.
Right.
So if I can give something, I didn't see it the way you saw it.
No worries. Yeah.
But now that I see it, it makes a lot more sense on, okay, y'all know better.
Exactly. Exactly.
See, I was trying to give them the benefit.
I get, and I knew exactly where you was, but it's just like, yeah, man. So I don't know. But but when it comes to that, do you think that is more difficult for us, going through situations like that? Like the fact that we just talked about that for X amount of minutes, right? It's nothing that I know that I've experienced. I don't think that somebody's going to be in the background and come up and whisper to me and be like, you're being an angry black man, right? I don't think that's going to happen. But do you think that when it comes to, if somebody would realize that they are angry black man, angry black woman, if they realize it, they know that they're on edge all the time. Do you think going to therapy, anger management is a way to...
Look. I am a person that could have been considered angry. There go that N word. He's up to this. You know what I'm saying? So when you say the idea of therapy, I haven't even gone to therapy, but I had somebody who deals in that field, and she kind of worked with me a little bit, asking me questions that I've never asked myself, and I think that anybody that could be considered angry should be going to that. But black people that don't even feel like they're angry should be going to that, because if they're not dealing with something,
suppressed trauma.
Exactly. And it will, if you go and deal with it, sometimes people feel like they don't have to deal with it because they've mastered it. They got away from it, but it's going to come back at some point and it's going to affect you. But if you deal with it, I think it reduces the idea of you ever becoming angry in public because you've dealt with your things. There's so many things that we've had to deal with that nothing was taken care of. It caused us to be angry. You know what I'm saying?
Even more than that, there's things that we didn't know that, it was passed down to us, and we don't even know. We haven't realized. We haven't even tapped into that yet.
I know.
Haven't had the experience to bring that out yet, so that we have the opportunity to realize it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's something in itself, Yeah. So look, I'm always going to be an advocate for therapy. And I feel like the same way that people go to the gym, same way that, you take your vitamins, the same way that you watch your diet, that you don't overindulge in alcohol and other things, sweets or whatever. It's all a part of your maintenance, And if you're not going to therapy, I'm not going to shame people, but if you're not going to therapy, you should think about it, because it's a part of your well-being. It's a part of your health. It's a part of your self-maintenance. And everything else that we do in life, all of the things that we have, you got a laptop, you go get it serviced. You got your phone, you go get it clean. You put a case on it. You cook your meals the way that you cook them. You should be taking care of your mind the same way. You go to the gym, you play sports, you play ball. Go get your mind right. And I'm not trying to be cliche when I say that, but go get your mind right. Because if you're not thinking properly and you're out here making decisions, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Oh, without a doubt.
And the worst part is the people that don't realize that they're not thinking properly and they're out here making decisions. They're putting all of us at risk for their potentially poor decisions.
Oh, yeah.
This is the way I see it. So just do a checkup. If you feel that you're good, my arm is straight.
My
leg is fine. Still go in for your checkup.
Yeah, let somebody else tell you.
Go in for your checkup. Yeah. Right. Get that other perspective. And for those that are out there who feel like, there's therapy, black folks is this, and I guess there's other options. People say, they speak to somebody in their church or whoever else in their community or their congregation. Fine, but go to a professional too.
Yeah,
just let a pro look at it. I'm great with computers. If you bring me your computer, I might be able to fix it up, make it run faster, do some things or whatever. But I'm not a licensed computer tech.
Yeah,
take it to the pros every now and then, and have them give it a run through. Do that with your mind. Because once you go crazy, you might turn into an angry black man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? And then, you got people, but seriously, I think it's a big.
That's a great perspective. I think you've turned whoever will watch this that's having those questions about that, you've made them a believer, because you just go let somebody else tell you you're good. You know what I'm saying? But, I will say this. Before, in my mind, I was like, if I go, they ain't gonna tell me I'm good. They gonna just want my money. They ain't gonna tell me oh, no, you good. So in my mind, it was like a money grab.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you don't go in it with the best intentions, you'll never get the best out of it anyway.
Yeah, man. It's a way to tap in. It's a way to tap into you and your mind, everything that's already there, and realize where you are. Mm-hmm. I think. So, but you have to be a part of the process. You can't go in and hold everything tight. You can't hold back and you've said before, you go in there as I won't say
take the worst version of yourself.
Right. And I don't want to say that and then give people the wrong impression, because somebody may hear that and be like, well, I'm going there slamming vases down and kicking stuff or whatever, because I'm but
if they do go in there, they gonna have to probably pay for that shit.
But this is what I'm saying. But correct me if I'm wrong, but when you say give the worst version of yourself, you want honesty in what you're talking about.
But even the parts that you want people to see.
Correct. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You want to be completely transparent, right? Not holding things back, because that is going to affect, I don't want to say diagnosis, but that is gonna affect the way that you are perceived and the direction that the treatment and conversations will go. And if you're giving false answers, if you're giving half-assed truth answers, if you're not being transparent, then you're not going to get the help that you're going in there to pay for.
It's just going to extend the process.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So that's it. So I think it's a big deal. And it will help things with, for example, emotional intelligence. This is important,
it's one of the most important parts.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's when I remember first starting, I still, 7 different emotions and intelligence, and that people kind of just surpass or whatnot. And if people were just more empathetic to a life that they didn't have experience to, you can communicate more effectively.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. And a lot of times we're considered angry because that's only one of the most emotions that we've shown to everybody. We don't show them that we're soft, we cry, we're fighters, because this is the only situation we've been in. You know what I'm saying? We were told not to cry. You better not cry. You know what I'm saying? It's they even as a child, your parents are removing certain emotions so that you are able to go fight the world when they piss on you. You know what I'm saying?
And the labels that we get. I heard somebody say a while back, they were like, calling a little boy, little man, takes away like the innocence. I never thought about it like that. I'm not saying that I agree with it, but I never thought about it like that. You know, and they say like when you look at young black children, right, and how we're always told, or you have to be kind of older than you are. Oh, right, growing up ahead of time,
2 or 3 years older than yourself.
But you know, like, but that kind of, or what's expected of you to be. And again, I'm not telling anybody how to parent. I'm not saying that that's good or bad. We're just talking about the perspective of it, right? So it's like, if you're telling somebody, or you call them, hey, little man, no, he's a little child. Let him be a child. Yeah. But I understand that perspective. I did it with my son. Hey, that's my little man right there.
I didn't think about it until you said that.
I didn't either. I mean, but it's just something. So, and even especially with our black women, right? Because they tend to grow and develop faster than the boys, right? Looking older than they are. And then now the perception of them in society is completely different. You know, a young black girl might be 10 but looks 13. Yeah. You know, this type of thing. So it's just like, and this perception in society is like, that's a woman. That's a young lady. Mm-hmm. And it's like, she can't even vote in the school election.
She's still
more or less.
In the bed.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about here? So it's like the innocence has been taken away
I think that with our community, it's been like that because, you know, I was a latchkey kid in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? And my sister's younger than me, so like he was like, you got to act like you're 2-3 years old. You're taking your kids' youth away from them because we don't have the resources for my father and mother to just go to work without worrying about what's happening to their kids in the afternoon when they get out of school or who's going to be there. So it's like a form of survival. So I have to make you grow up. So maybe my job can become a little easier because you're learning faster. Right. But you're like, I think the reason why women mature faster is because they have more exposure to their emotions that we're not allowed to have as kids. So all the stuff that we can't do, we expect girls to do. You know what I'm saying? So as they get older, they understand how to use them more. And then when we get older, we haven't used them. And it's like, it looks a certain way. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the reason why I think the therapy aspect will allow people to be more balanced. Right. So that's the reason why I think women look more mature than us, because they've learned to deal with emotions that we're told not to deal with.
Oh, I was just even talking about just physically looking more mature. But that's what I meant when I was saying, like, 10 looking 13 or whatever. But yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. So, but I feel like with us, right? And when we're talking about like the mental health piece and the emotional intelligence and whatnot, like, I think one piece that's missing, which is critical, is that we're not told, advised, privy to some of the things to look for to even know that we might want or need that help. And so I stress again, like, go get your checkups. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get your checkups. Go do that mental health check and make sure that you're good. Because, I mean, it could shape you. It could help you to become a better man, a better woman, a more productive child.
It will not hurt you.
It's not. I don't think it's gonna hurt.
No.
So please, if you are in the mindset of like, that's not for us as black people or whatever, black people don't go to therapy, grow up. Stop it. Stop it. I don't think that's a good way to look at it. So, and we're hoping that the conversations that we have here, like I said, we're not doctors. We don't aim to fix anything, but we're really, really hoping, and I say this from the bottom of my heart, that we are opening the door to certain conversations, and we're going to continue to do it. Certain conversations to be had. There are things that we're not talking about as a people that we need to talk about. I've said before, and I'll be honest, I can't remember if it was off camera or on camera, but the things that they always say that we should not talk about is sex, politics,
And religion.
Right. And I say this all the time, when I look at the world, those are the three things that has the world the most jacked up: sex, politics, and religion. And if we talked about them more, I think that we might be in a little better place.
But you need an effective communicator to be able to talk to somebody about their belief system. Because a lot of times when you get in arguments about those three things,
right,
the people that you're talking to are gung-ho about what they believe in. And no matter what you say, they've already got a rebuttal of why they're right.
Okay, well, how about this? I'm not meaning it in a way to have a conversation where one side is going to say, well, we're right because of this. Well, no, we're right because of this. I'm only talking about informative.
Definitely.
Right? Only informative.
It should always be that way.
So when it's informative, if this person is a Muslim and this person is Jewish, then I want to inform about Judaism.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm willing to learn about Islam.
But you have to be the example, because that's why they say don't talk about those things, because people aren't open like that.
Right. And that's what we have to get over, because if we did, and when we do, I think we'll be in a better place where we can have these conversations and we can walk amongst each other in a better way, in a more peaceful way.
True that.
So there's a lot of things that we have to talk about, and there's a lot of things that Diverse Clarity is going to talk about, especially when we come back to y'all in season 2, right? And moving forward. John D.
What up, though?
Got any final words for the final episode of this season?
Yeah. Everybody knows that we one conversation away. And he and I constantly work to create a place for you guys to come and hear information from two well-traveled Americans that just want to help through our experiences to make the world better. And it's been a complete pleasure. And I'll say this is by far the most successful job I've ever been a part of. Like, I just feel like I continuously grow, and I'm looking forward to the things we have coming up.
And there's a lot. We got a lot on the plate.
Yeah, we're so excited.
Yes, man, it's going to be nice. All I'll say is we'll put an announcement out as far as what's coming next, because there's going to be some new things, and we're not going to push those dates to you just yet. But I will say this, there's a lot more that's coming. There's a lot more conversations to be had. And we will be back in season 2 very soon, plus some other stuff.
For sure.
Yeah?
All day.
All I want is for people to not be afraid to have a conversation. Diverse Clarity was created because we wanted to have those thought-provoking conversations, and we wanted to have them in a space where it would be easy for people to listen to, easy for people to partake in the conversation and hopefully learn something and pass it on to the next person.
Definitely.
Right? That's what it was all about. So it's a safe space to have conversations about anything that you really want to. So if there's anything that you want to hear us talk about, or things that you want us to address, or questions that you had about things that we've addressed in the past, please contact us. You can easily comment, or send us an email, or hit us on the social media. All that stuff will be at the end on the credits and all that stuff. I'll make sure I put it in this episode. But and until then, keep having those thought-provoking conversations about things that matter and some that don't. He's John D. I am OMEHGA. This is Diverse Clarity, and that is the end for season 1. See you next episode.
Boom.